Good morning, everybody. All right, it's Trusted Tour Guide Annie. I am on my way to tailgate for Lions Bears in the fine city of Detroit. So I thought, you know what? I'm still practicing my live, and I bought this thing. I'll share it in the links later, to hold my phone so that I'm safe while I'm driving and I'm live streaming. So we're going to give this a try. You notice I say so a lot? Okay, I got to work on that. But anyways, so right now I am driving down to Detroit. For me, it's about a half-hour trip to get there. I'm by myself because my wonderful husband does not like the crowds. Loves the game, hates the crowds. Yeah, everybody's different, right? I love the crowds. They're my people. All right, so what can we talk about? I'm really not great in terms of technical football, play calls, etc. Although I'm getting better and better. It's only taken me a whole bunch of years to get that part. But what I love is the camaraderie, the dedication to team. And, Detroit had a lot of tough years. And, it's good to enjoy some wins and the inspiration that is Dan Campbell. The dedication and loyalty, really, that's what sports is for me. And the fun of being together with fans. And this morning's really cool because it is a spectacular fall morning here in Michigan. It is beautiful. It's going to be 85 degrees. People get to be together. It's the first game. Definitely one of the things I absolutely love is the fact that it is 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. I know that the whole goal is to get premium games. Yeah. Premium games, to me, I get it, but those games, sorry everybody, but they're more fun to watch on TV. Because one of the things that happens in a premium time frame is there's all kinds of TV timeouts when you're there, which is really kind of yucky for me. I like when we're all fired up and we're all together. And all right, somebody is asking me to co-host. You know what, guys? I'm not going to do that yet, just because I'm not good enough at this live stuff. I'm still learning it. That may be something I entertain going forward, but I certainly don't want to mess up all your work on being a TikTok influencer or star or whatever we're trying to do here and try and share our story. But going forward, I'll give it a shot. I'm trying to concentrate on driving, so I can't see the interaction on the screen. Again, I'm learning, but I wanted to share what it's like to be headed down to the game today. Again, beautiful morning. I fully expect the Lions to win today. To say there's bad blood with Ben Johnson, I don't know. We want the best for everybody, but he could have gone out of our division. He could have done that. So, and I also, like it or not, Mr. Johnson, you were not concentrating on that last game. All right, y'all can get over if you don't like that, but there's no way. That's an interesting topic, right? Should these guys even be able to talk to other teams while we're still in the playoffs? Now, how can you be part of that game against the Commanders and it's such a mess, and then just a few days later, you've got your whole coaching team picked out? Were you really concentrating on the Commanders, Ben Johnson? Were you? Really? Come on, you're human. But let's take it that to the league level. Why can they even do this? The contract is not up, and whatever. I'm not going to beat that to death. Let's talk about how fun it is to enjoy this. I was watching the Detroit news this morning. People are already at Eastern Market, of course, because it's such a beautiful day. And, it's funny because I first started going to Lions games when I was a kid, and we used to go to the Pontiac Silverdome. So shout out to all my peeps that were at the Silverdome, because those were fun. You know, I think that that's one of the things about having a stadium outside of the city, is that you really get to be part of an entire tailgate. I'm at a red light, that's why you see both my hands. Anyways, you get to see the entire place. Like the Silverdome was in those days was in the middle of nowhere. So there was tailgates all the way around. You know, the wonderful deep fried chickens on turkeys on Thanksgiving Day. That's the first time I saw them, was at football. You know, people with RVs. It was a different vibe. Whereas in downtown Detroit, which is wonderful, by the way, but it's very split up. You've got the Eastern Market area, you've got Greektown, you've got wonderful Corktown area. Shout out to Nemo's. That was definitely part of my misspent youth, is spending time at Nemo's. A wonderful place. But that's Corktown area, which typically they bus people from there to the Lions game, because it's further now. Well, it's not further than the Silverdome, but it's far enough that on cold winter days you're not walking from there. So you've got Corktown, you've got Eastern Market, you've got Greektown, you've got over by Hockeytown, which is a bar near Little Caesars Arena. So Detroit, downtown Detroit has done a beautiful job with having Little Caesars Arena, Comerica Park, Ford Field all together. It's a wonderful entertainment district. If you're thinking about coming to Detroit for a game, I highly recommend it. You can have a blast, and Detroit has come such a very long way. And since we're giving shout outs, Mayor Dugan, amazing. I'm excited for the future of Detroit. I'm Canadian, grew up in Windsor, which, if you're not from here, is just about a mile-wide river away. And, you know, Detroit's like a neighborhood for us, the Canadians that come from Windsor. And, you know, it's kind of sad that due to some political comments that have been made over the last year and a half, there's some bad blood there. Not at the neighborly level, but you know, it's tough, and it's such a shame because we're such a part of each other's history. But again, let's find some fun stuff to talk about. I'm going to see if I can flip this so you can see where I'm driving, which is kind of cool. I'm currently driving through Pontiac, Michigan. So I did a long live session for Dream Cruise driving through Pontiac. It's had its difficult times with General Motors leaving the area. It's part of the Rust Belt, if you will. But I have faith in Pontiac as well. You know, everything's an evolution, right? Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And we'll get through it. I believe it. I believe in this area. And I believe in the hardworking people that come from here. And I believe in the Detroit Lions. Don't care what y'all think. I do a little. Anyways, you know, I think another thing that's interesting about football this year and over the last couple of years is how they're moving to streaming services. You know, it used to be pretty standard where you could watch football games, and you might not get a local game if they didn't sell out, which was pretty common in Detroit for a while. But, you know, now with these streaming services, I wonder how it's all going to work out. Like, you've got YouTube, you've got Peacock, you've got Prime. It's very different, these new networks or new ways to watch football. I don't know what I think of it. One thing that was interesting we discovered yesterday, we have Xfinity at home, and we had seen advertisements for this multi-view concept where you can just watch various games. And so yesterday we just set into the remote multi-view. I know you younger people are probably going, duh. But anyways, we just set it into the remote multi-view, and we had 4 college games going at once, and it was pretty cool. I remember when I was younger, we would do the picture-in-picture, and you could watch a couple games at a time. But this is interesting with the multi-view, how you can switch back and forth. Anywho, all right, so just about to head to I-75 southbound, which interestingly enough is towards Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Canada is actually south of Detroit, and getting ready to do some tailgating with my peeps. What else can I tell you? I don't know. Do we have Lions fans on here this morning? I sure hope so. Good Lord. Come on. Go Lions. You know, I know what I'll do. I'll tell you a story. So, the first time I went to a game, a football game, was at the Big House, which is the University of Michigan. And my mom took me there. And, you know, interesting because just like my husband, my dad was not interested. But my mom loved big crowds. She loved football. She loved sports. The camaraderie, the cheering together, the feeling of being a single unit. And so she took me, I think I was about 10 years old the first time I went to the Big House. And I was in love with football and the whole thing. And I still am to this day, which is a couple days later than when I was 10. And, you know, and she took me to the old Tiger Stadium. For those of you that are old enough to remember the old Tiger Stadium. Okay, here's a shock for your system. Comerica is 25 years old. What? Anyways, the old Tiger Stadium used to be the best for a beer and a hot dog. And, oh man, that was living. Yeah, unless you got an obstructed view seat, which kind of sucked, but it happened on occasion. I remember one time when I was in university in Windsor, I went to a game with a boyfriend of mine at the time, and it was so funny. I thought it was so romantic. I skipped out of school and off I went to the game, and he said, "Oh, we'll just get bleacher seats so we can sit in the sun." It was a day game during May. It was beautiful. Anyway, so we go to sit in the seats. No kidding. I'm telling you. It was safety patrol day. You know those kids that wear the orange things and help the crossing guards? I don't know if they still do that, but it was safety patrol day in the bleachers. So we're thinking we're going to sit there, have some beers, have some fun, enjoy the sunshine, and there are thousands of kids with their little safety patrol belts on. Oh Lord, what a day. It was still fun. But anyways. All right. So I am about to get on 75 southbound, like I said. Game time is 1 o'clock today. The Lions have 8 games at home this year. It's a heck of a schedule. Very similar to last year in that they've got a few home games, September, October, and then they're really loaded at home November, December. Of course, there's the traditional Thanksgiving Day, which I love. Tons of Canadians go to. I think, they don't have to report to their families. It's not Canadian Thanksgiving. FYI, Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. So all they have to do really is skip out of work, and then they get to go Thanksgiving Day. I'm not sure who we're playing this year. I can't recall. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. It's still a ton of fun. And then a week later after that, Dallas comes to town. That's going to be a big game. That's a Thursday night game. And then, it's funny. We end our regular season before Christmas at home. I mean, I know there's more games after, but they're away games. Our last home game during the regular season. Notice what I'm saying there, guys? During the regular season. Because there'll be more games after that. But that's before Christmas, which is unusual. Pretty sure the Lions are playing Christmas Day in Minnesota, which would be kind of fun. That is the most amazing stadium. Ford Field's my favorite, but US Bank Stadium in Minnesota is a beautiful place to watch football. I would love, it's on my bucket list, to sit in one of those cool suites that are right on the field. I think that's such a neat concept. I think they have that at SoFi as well, and probably a few of the other new ones. it's just a really cool feeling, I think. I don't know, I can't afford it, but it looks really neat. So that's kind of what we're up to. I do have season tickets, so, you know, maybe we'll do this again. We'll see. It's something that I wanted to do my whole life. I don't know how I feel about ticket prices. I mean, it's just gotten ridiculous. And I don't know. So this may be my last year. It's just so much money. And, you know, is it reasonable to expect people to do that? I guess if you're a corporation and, you know, you can write off the expense, yeah, maybe, but the average fan, I don't know. It's a lot, guys. So, what can I say? I'm giving it a go. This is my 4th season as a season ticket holder. I know that I have friends that have had tickets for 40 years that are generational, which is kind of unusual in Detroit. I know that in Philly, for example, which is kind of unusual in Detroit. I know that in Philly, for example, they have generational tickets. I believe some others on the Eastern Seaboard, probably Dallas. And I don't know if this is accurate, but I read that the Lions currently have the most expensive tickets in the NFL. Like, really? You guys? Really? Come on. But what can I say? It is what it is. So I sit in the lower bowl. It's always an interesting debate. You know, if you had the money and you socked away your retirement money or you did whatever and you were going to do this, would you rather have seats in a box, like above the second level, between the second and third level, or would you rather have closer to the field? I know for me and my son that usually goes with me, we love being as close to the field as we can afford. It's just, otherwise, if I'm up on that second level or in a suite, for me, yeah, it's cool. But I could stay at home and watch and have that, you know, distant feeling. I like hearing the sounds, and before the game, you know, it's easy to go down and sit on the rail and watch practice before they even get dressed. So for me, I like being closer to the field. Everybody's different. That's another question, though, is do you like to stay out and tailgate outside, or do you like to go in the stadium as soon as you can? We tend to go in the stadium the minute those doors open, because we love to watch before they even practice. It gives you a feeling of really being part of it all, before they even dress, I mean, so that, you know, they're just doing warm-ups and stuff on the field, and you get to see the players up close and personal, and it's a good feeling. Some people, they love tailgating outside. That's where they get their enjoyment, and they come in at the last minute, right before kickoff, or even after kickoff. For me, I like being inside. That's what I'm downtown for. That's what I paid for, and that's what I want to be part of. But everybody's different. So, you know, I know you might notice that I have a black shirt on and not a Lions shirt. What you can't see is I've got a big 4-leaf clover on my shirt. Just saying. I wore a Lions shirt last week watching the game. Yeah, so I won't say I burned it, but I will tell you I'm not wearing it. So we have a saying at our house. We're not superstitious. Not wearing it. So we have a saying at our house. We're not superstitious. So, you know, if we get bad mojo from anything, no, we don't do it again. So that shirt's out of the circulation. And what else? So what are the other experiences? You know, obviously the expense inside the game is crazy. I don't know how they justify it. We all know you can get a case of beer for, I don't know, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever it is. So how do you justify $16 beers? Like, you already got people to pay so darn much money to get in there and support you. And now the concessions are ridiculous. I mean, really, come on guys, how much does it cost them to make a stinking hot dog? So why is it $8? I'm just saying. Like, it's gotten crazy. But here I am on my way, and I can assure you, I'm eating a hot dog because it's tradition. I got to do it. But I feel for the people that can't do it, that love the Lions, that love whatever team is their team, and physically can't afford to go to a game a year. That would be great. But, you know, I'm at a place where this is something I saved for, and I'm doing it. At least this year. Not sure what's going to happen next year. Oh, I know something I want to share. So at a preseason game, I had a great time. I saw a friend of mine, and he was taking his son, and it was his son's first game. So what was fun about that is we found out that if you go to guest services when you go into Ford Field, which is, I believe, just to the right of Gate A. Anyway, it's where you go to sign up as designated driver and try and win prizes for that and different things. No drinking and driving. But they will give you a certificate that says this is your first Lions game. So for people that haven't been before, if you get a chance to go to Ford Field, I encourage you, get your certificate. It'll be a fun thing to keep. And usually if you get a chance to go to Ford Field, I encourage you, get your certificate. It'll be a fun thing to keep. And usually if you go in early, there's some type of giveaway. So you can give that a shot. What are other tips for the game? Another tip, it's Sunday, which means parking in downtown Detroit, public parking, like street parking, is free because it's Sunday. So you got to get there early enough, part of the reason I'm going now. But yeah, you can park for free on the street on Sundays, unless something's changed. We're going to find out, but that's how it's been for years. Now, if you go to a Monday night game or whatever, those are all paid parking times, so you have to pay. But Sunday, 1 o'clock games, usually you're good. I don't know if there's a Tigers game today. Sometimes it gets a little crazy downtown when there's a Tigers game. I think there was one last year where there was Tigers and Lions and Red Wings all in one day, right near the end of the year, I think. But it gets crazy. The parking, if you have to pay, can go up to $100. You know, it's crazy. And the other thing I've seen in downtown Detroit, and this is awful, you know, it's crazy. And the other thing I've seen in downtown Detroit, and this is awful, so you'll see a sign that says $40 for parking, right? So you pull up and it's busy down there, so you're trying to find your way, and you pull up, and then the guy will say, well, are you going to the game? Yeah. Oh, well, if you're going to the game, it's 60 bucks or 50 bucks. It's like, dude, you got a sign that says $40. Yeah, I know, but it's different if you're going to the game. Well, I don't park in those places anymore. I don't care how far I have to walk or what I have to do. Like, tell me the truth. Come on. So that's one of the annoyances downtown. Some of my favorite stops for anyone who hasn't been to a game. Love the Shillelagh. Been going there for a very long time, and they've done a great job with all the different tiers. And on a beautiful day like today, you know, go to the top and have a good look around. It's really cool. Greektown is under construction at the moment, trying to improve their pedestrian experience, which is going to be great when it's done. And right now, I saw on the Detroit News this morning that all of their establishments are open, and you'll see wayfinding signs that will tell you how to get to the Shillelagh, how to get to Fishbones, how to get to Pegasus, all of which, you know, please patronize these wonderful places because they are wonderful. But for me, I go Shillelagh, and then I love the Elwood, which is right outside of the main gate at Ford Field. Although it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to do it today, but for some of the Tigers games, they have tables, and you have to be sitting at a table. So I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. Maybe I'll take a picture for you. But it used to be, they had great music playing. You're standing up outside, meeting people, having a great time, socializing. So I love the Elwood. Forgive my ums. I'll try and work on that. I'm trying not to say too much. So I'll go to All right. So Elwood, street parking on Sunday mornings. If you're there early enough, fingers crossed I get one. If not, you gotta pay. Look out for the people that tell you one price, and then when you go to pull in, they tell you another price. Shillelagh is a great stop, lots of fun. Some parking lots don't allow tailgating, FYI. I don't really know why. I don't know. I don't know. People take up too much space when they're tailgating, or it becomes dangerous. I don't know. But there's several that have full-on tailgates. Let's see. So, I've told you about season tickets. I've told you how I feel about them. I think that one of the things you really don't get when you watch on TV is the feeling, is the electricity of the game. The NFL, in terms of sports entertainment, everywhere I've ever gone to a game, which is only, 5 or 6 stadiums, but they are so good at it. I don't know if you're a WWE fan, but those folks know sports entertainment too. It's just, they get the crowd going, and the music and the sound and the lights. So that's the part you can't get it at home. But there are a lot of people that don't want it. They don't want all that crowd. They don't want the noise. They just want to watch the game. I like the excitement. I like the people. I like the noise. I like all of it. So, I wish I could see your comments and answer your questions. Maybe you can DM me later or send me a note. Again, it's at Trusted Tour Guide Annie. Would love it if you'd subscribe. I do all kinds of sports things. I know it's kind of weird. Part of it is, so my whole thing on here is that I want people to live a life full of experience and record them and share them with other people. We are in such a state of disconnect. These events, sports, family meals, anywhere that you're gathering with people are so healthy for us. There is an epidemic of loneliness across the world, in a world where we have instant connection, theoretically, through our phones. But there's nothing quite like being with people. So, Trusted Tour Guide Annie, my goal is to help people record and live milestone moments. So that's why you'll see me do Dream Cruise, because people love cars. Lots of people love cars, especially in the Motor City. Go to sporting events. Go to your kid's sporting event and record it. What did you learn from it? Who did you meet? What would you tell other parents? How do you do these things? Not everything has to cost a pile of money. And I know it sounds easy for me to say as I'm going to an expensive, stupid game, but whatever. I've gone to lots of times where I couldn't afford it, and I just stood outside and enjoyed the people. Lots of people do that too. Do what you can. So that's who I am, and that's, if you stick around, we'll go to football games. We'll share some of the technology. My background is project management and administrative services in various corporate settings and public sector settings, and some military background. So It's to use my background, my experiences, and my professional services to help you save your milestones. Oh, sorry, I just had a beep on my car, and help you save your milestones. Oh, sorry, I just had a beep on my car, and your engine light's on. My engine light's not on, but it does say maintenance required, so we will deal with that. But anyways, so go out, live your dreams, connect with other people, and something, and work towards it. Something little. I'm a Jordan Peterson fan. Not that I agree with everything he says, but I'm a fan of his approach to life. And one of the things I heard him saying the other day is, it doesn't have to be big. If you haven't cleaned your room in 10 years, you don't have to clean the whole room today. Pick one drawer. Pick half of one drawer and accomplish it. Pick something small. You want to go to Super Bowl, you want to whatever. Pick something very little and work towards it. Follow me on here on YouTube. I have a channel that helps you. I have like different fillable PDFs that can help you with your planning and your project management, because if you look at all these things as a project that you can complete, it helps you get realistic about it and hopefully accomplish it. Anyway, today is the first Lions home game in Detroit of 2025. We're playing the Bears. I already mentioned what I thought of Ben Johnson. Whatever, buddy. And I'm all excited. I am about 7 miles from downtown Detroit now on I-75 South, which really, you know, over the years, 75 has gone through so much improvement. For years in Detroit, if you drove within, let's say, 8 mile down to downtown Detroit on 75 or some of the various feeder roads, there was no lights, like none. Oh my gosh, I just saw the most beautiful Lamborghini. I wish I could show you, but I gotta pay attention here. Oh, there's a whole bunch of supercars going by. I don't know who they are, but oh my. Who knew there was that many Lamborghinis in Detroit? All right, so, yeah, so I was saying, well, you know, for years, if you were driving at night in Detroit, there was not even any lights on. It was spooky, but it has come such a long way. The roads are in wonderful condition. This is a great part of the country, steeped in automotive history and corporate history. And, you know, did you know that Carhartt comes from Detroit? They started here, I believe, in the late 1800s. And, you know, what a resurgence they've had in the fashion world. Never thought I'd see Carhartt as fashion, but it is. I wish I could show you the Detroit skyline as I'm driving in. You know, that's an interesting development this year. The Renaissance Center, I don't know what's going to happen with it. It is a series of towers on the Detroit River that you can see beautifully from Windsor and from, you know, as you're driving in, really from any area in Detroit. And it's largely empty now that General Motors has moved out and created or built their own building, another building in downtown. It's largely empty now that General Motors has moved out and created or built their own building, another building in downtown Detroit. So it's great they didn't leave downtown. That part's good, but I don't know what's going to happen. There's been various conversations about demolishing it, demolishing part of it, turning it to residential. It's a really cool place, and again, it looks out over the river, so we'll see what happens with that. I wonder if anyone that's listening is going to the game. I hope so. I hope so, and I hope you're all going to watch it. Cheer for the Lions. All right. So, I actually think I'm going to cut it off here, guys. I don't want to bore you. with just driving in downtown Detroit. I wish I could see well enough and pay attention well enough to flip it so you could see going into downtown Detroit. I wish I could flip my camera. Let's see. Let me see if I can do that. Something's... Did it, guys! Alright, so now you can see we're driving into Detroit. I figured you might be sick of looking at me, but this is what it's like heading to downtown Detroit right now. I am at, let's see, exit 54. I'll give you the next sign. Oh, look it! This is Grit. You see it? You see the billboards? Another one. So I usually take, so you can see here we're at I-94. You'll see the sign in a second, I believe. Yep, there you go. I'm at Warren Avenue. And I typically get off, I take this all the way down to what they call 375. Which runs right in front of the Renaissance Center, and hopefully you're going to get a good view of the Renaissance Center coming up. Looks like you might. So again, you're with trusted tour guide Annie on the way to park for the Lions game against the Bears today. Let's see if we can get around this fella. Okay, hopefully you got that view. Looks awesome with the church. No, sorry guys, you're not going to see it. Maybe if we turn a little more. Sorry, I don't want to make it too shaky for you. I'm just trying to get you the best view possible of driving into Detroit today. Starting to see helicopters and flyovers for the game. Alright. Getting close now. So I feel like I'm late. The game starts at 1. I'm downtown at 9:30. That feels late to me. You know, we used to go at like 7 in the morning, but I don't know enough crazy people that want to do it with me, which I find hard to believe, because who wouldn't want to get up on a beautiful day and go hang out downtown? All right. See it? Hunting season. Yeah, buddy. Alright. So again, this is the last exit off 75 down here, and then it turns into what they call 375. And that's what I take, and I'll make a right heading up towards the stadium, or Ford Field they call it. To me, football is a stadium. I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully, cross your fingers for me that I get a free parking spot. should be able to. Fingers crossed. It's just a matter of how far I'm willing to walk, rather. Okay, let's see. See people in the streets. There's Lions jerseys everywhere. See them? Yeah, see, people are starting to take parking spots already, which is cool. I don't know if we can get up Larned or not, or if we have to take... Oh yeah, it looks like it. I'm gonna give it a shot. It's been really busy downtown with construction and different things going on, but it looks like we're open. So we're gonna give it a shot here. This to my right, excuse me, is the Millender Center. Another landmark downtown Detroit. See all the orange barrels. Very vibrant down here compared to what it used to be. I'm getting street parking. Whoop whoop. All right, I'm downtown. Stay tuned, guys. I'll check in later. Thanks so much for joining me.